there's a guy by the name of Haason Reddick. He's a little edge rusher, and the man's been on a couple of teams. Now, 2021 he was with the Cardinals. 2022 he was with the Panthers, and for this past season he was with the Eagles. Well, now he has the amazing opportunity to play for the New York Jets and their defense. Bryce Huff leaves the Jets defense. The Eagles acquire him, and it's almost like it was a perfect swap. Haason Reddick goes to the Jets. In that Jets defense, which is probably one of the best defenses in the league, but the man, as he said on the Eagles, said he wanted to make a bag. He wanted to make some money. And he can't do it on the Jets because the Jets defense is already top tier. They got money going all different ways and elsewhere. So when you got somebody like Haason Reddick looking for a bag, he's not going to find it in New York. He didn't find it in Philadelphia. He didn't find it wherever else he went. He is the first player in NFL history to have at least 10 sacks a season with 3 different teams in the span of 4 years. This guy's good, but he wants upwards of $23 million per year. Now, when I look at Haason Reddick, I don't normally think, okay, this is the guy that needs to be making upwards of $23 million a year. He can't find it in Arizona, he can't find it in Carolina, he can't find it in Philadelphia, he can't find it in New York. He requests a trade to a team he has not practiced for, to a team he has not played a game for. He hasn't touched the field for this team, but yet he wants a trade. And he wants to make $23 million a year. Nate, I know there's a business aspect of football, but what's going through your mind when I tell you these words that this guy, as good as he could be on this Jets defense, wants to leave because he's chasing a bag?
But you just said it. We got to look at the business aspect of the game. I mean, it's a business. Whether you like it or not, the NFL is a business. And guys, I had to learn this. I learned this my rookie year. First time I got cut. You got to understand that this is a business, and it's nothing personal, but it's a business. And guys are now at that point where it's like, okay, your body is an investment. Your body is really like, you hear the saying, oh, my body's a temple and all this stuff. Your body's an investment. Your body is an investment. And it's like, okay, you got to invest in your body and whatnot and take care, because this is how you take care of your family. This is how you pay to keep the lights on and whatnot. So you have to look at what's best for the business, your business and whatnot. You understand guys that want to get paid because, again, you want to get security for your family. Really, the reality of it is you want to have security for your family. That means when that time comes, for you to stop playing, you make enough money and you have enough money saved and whatnot, you can invest in businesses and whatnot, and invest in things that, again, goals, second career goals, whether it's with your spouse or yourself or, family, that'll help keep revenue coming in and whatnot. So guys, I'm going to always support the aspect of the business side of the game, but yet I'm always going to be on the side of the game as well, because it's important that we don't lose sight of the fact that you're the top 1% of making all this money as a professional athlete. And the reality of it is you've got to be smart, because, again, you're one hit away from it being done.
I understand that. But in 2022, he signed a 3-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles worth $45 million.
Yes.
Whether it's $23 million or whether it's $15 million a year, is that going to determine whether or not you're going to be able to keep the lights on for your family? You're going to be able to. I understand that. I understand $8 million is a pretty big differential. But the way you're looking at it is like, okay, well, this guy's either making $1 million or he's making $15 million. And I get that. But you're making $15 million a year.
And that's good money.
Football.
Listen.
That's good money.
You save a lot of that. Again, and a lot of people, a lot of athletes, we got to understand is living within your means. living well within your means, and again, not buying materialistic possessions that are going to depreciate literally within weeks and months in value. Putting yourself, again, putting it aside, and again, investing and building off the wealth and the capital that you're getting from playing in the NFL. Um, that's a that's the key, because I mean, again, everybody doesn't make $15 million. Now, it's a lot of people that don't make six figures, So, you know, it's a tough caveat, because it's like, you look at it, and it's you want to make sure that you're providing for your family and whatnot. Now, it's to be honest with you, it's just a slippery slope.
But you told me, Nate, when these players go out, they play to win championships.
Yeah,
And if you're searching for a bag, right now, he is on a championship competing team. Whether or not
but
you
he
want to
wants to
look
get
at
his
it,
bag. He wants to get his
he
bag.
wants to get his bag. But I mean, obviously not all players have the same mindset. But collectively, when we talked about, I don't know, whenever we talked about it, what do we play? Especially that big argument I had with the guys with our conference debate. It was, what do we play the game for to win championships? Oh, well, Michigan won the past national championship. You got to go?
Let me go get
Okay.
Nemo. Go grab Nemo.
I'm going to do like a little soliloquy, monologue, whatever you want to call it. Apparently we play the game to win championships. And when you got a guy going out and taking a bag, he's not playing to win championships. He's playing for money. Well, we had a debate saying, okay, well, which conference is better, SEC or Big Ten? And I think we had an episode on this not too long ago, probably sometime in the summer. And it was Michigan won the past national championship, therefore they are better. That's bottom line. That conference is better. But when you really look at it, and you look at the consistency, and you look at the championships of each program in the past however years, if you look at the past 10, 15 years, whatever, the SEC is always going to pop up as the person who either played or won the national championship. And, of course, we have all this realignment and whatever, and I don't want to get too much in college football. But if we play to win championships, that needs to be the mindset of everyone. Because if the mindset of everyone is split and only half people want to win championship and half people want to make money, you're not going to win anything. I had a guy, whenever I went in one day, I think it was before I even got my job, he sat me down. It was before I got my servant job. I wanted to work somewhere else. He sat me down. He said, look, if all you think about is going in and making money and getting a paycheck, that's all you ever going to get. You're not going to get anything out of an experience. You're not going to get experience. You're not going to get anything out of your job if all you're doing is wanting to go in there and make a little money. So I had to rethink my thing. I said, okay, well, I want to get experience in this. And I applied to several things to get experience in what I wanted to get experience in. And it just wasn't happening. There was nothing that I could do to get that job. Well, I had to rewrite. I had to get a plan B. My plan B was, I'm going to go somewhere where I know I can perform. And I know I can do good in this area, which is serving. So I go and get a serving job. Well, although I make pretty good money serving, and more money than I would have whether I got that other experience, that wasn't my mindset going into it. My mindset was, okay, I'm going here to make an experience, to get experience not only for myself, but for other people. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get this experience. And although I will make money doing it, that's the mindset someone like Haason Reddick needs to have. This man, although he's not getting paid $23 million a year, he's getting paid 15. He's going in thinking, I'm going in to play football for a paycheck. I'm going in to play football for money. And that's all that's ever going to come out of it. You're not going to win a championship wherever you want. If you go to a place like Carolina or you go to a place like Arizona like you were in the beginning of your career, that's all you're going to do is make $23 million. Because guess what? Those people aren't going to make the postseason. They might not make the postseason in the next 5-10 years. We're going to have to see. But that's all Haason Reddick is doing. He only wants to get a bag. He only wants to make money. And for that reason, he's not going to win a championship because he doesn't have the mindset of, I want to go to a team that is championship contending, that can win a championship. Well, he's at that team right now. He is at that place right now where he not only can make good money, but can compete for a place to win it all. And so when everything's split in half and you got people on your team that's like, okay, I'm going in here just to get a paycheck, just to get a bag. I don't care if we go to the postseason. I don't care if we go to the championship. I don't want to have a Super Bowl ring on my finger at the end of the year. You're not going to win a championship because your mentality is divided. Your morale is divided on your team. Everyone needs to be one on your team to be really good and go into the championship game. You have someone like the Cincinnati Bengals when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl. Nobody knew that that team was going to compete for a Super Bowl. Nobody guessed it. But guess what? That team was so one. That team was so in link with one another that they said, okay, this is a Super Bowl contending team. We are going to compete for a championship. And guess what? That team did, because not everybody on that team, they had no argument on if somebody was going to make a money. They had no contract like they didn't have that. Right now, Dallas is in the pit. They got 3 big players on their team, and they do not know what they're going to do with that. And for that reason, Dallas is probably not going to see a championship. As long as Jerry Jones is in Dallas, they will not see a championship. If you have Dak Prescott, if you have Micah Parsons, if you have CeeDee Lamb, 3 of your biggest contributors on that team, and neither of them have contract negotiations, neither of them have an answer of if they're going to stay on your team, they're not going to win that game. They're not going to win. They're not going to win the season. For all I care, I love Dak Prescott, but for all I care, Dallas can. I don't even see him as a. They might not even make the playoffs. I don't even see them as a championship competing team because there's so much going on that isn't. We're going to win a championship. Jerry Jones isn't. We're going to win a championship. Jerry Jones loves his money. Jerry World. It's all money. That's all his mindset is. His mindset isn't, I'm going to pay the best players what they're worth so I can bring a championship to Dallas. It's, I'm going to make as much money as I can in Dallas, regardless if I have the best players or not. CeeDee Lamb, everybody's wearing number 88. Everybody's been wearing number 88 since Michael Irvin. Dez Bryant, everybody's been wearing the number 88. I can get another wide receiver in here to keep the jersey sales going for 88. Jerry Jones don't see stats. He don't see numbers. The only numbers he sees is monetary value. That's the only numbers he sees. If his bank account is going up, if he sees an increase in his bank account and his investments, that's all he cares about. And to go back to Haason Reddick, I'm sorry I got on the rant. This guy needs to have the mindset of, I'm going to play for a championship team. If I was in the NFL, that'd be the only mindset I'd have. This guy's good. Like I said, he's the first player in NFL history to have 10-plus sacks on 3 different teams in the span of 4 years. First player ever to do that. It's hard to go from defensive scheme to defensive scheme to defensive scheme and still produce. That the only reason he's still producing is because he's that good of a player. He can go to a different defensive scheme and show out and produce. But now that he has that mindset of, I can produce regardless of location, I should be worth X amount of money. I should be paid this amount of money. I'm going to actually pull up a list of the highest paid defensive ends in the NFL. And I just am curious to see where $23 million ranks. No, that's quarterback. I want to see defensive end. Give me 1 second. I apologize. While I wait for Nate again. Edge defender. Here we go. Of course, we have Nick Bosa with his $34 million a year. He had that and set the record, the market. I mean, highest paid. I think he was the highest paid non-quarterback ever. $34 million a year. Josh Allen, $28 million a year on the Jaguars. Brian Burns has $28 million on the Giants. T.J. Watt's $28 million on the Steelers. Myles Garrett's $25 million a year on the Browns. Danielle Hunter's $24.5 on the Texans. $24.5 for Montez Sweat on the Bears. Rashawn Gary for the Packers is $24 million. Then you have $23.5 million per year Max Crosby on the Raiders. And the question you have to ask yourself is Haason Reddick worth the same as Max Crosby? Does Haason Reddick produce the same numbers? Is he essential to that defense like Max Crosby is to the Raiders?
Can't necessarily say that, but I mean he's put up some good numbers. Please excuse me. He's put up some good numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. But you know, when we talk about the likes of a T.J. Watt, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Michael Parsons, these guys affect the game in so many different ways. You game plan and scheme. You scheme them. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that he is of that caliber, but he's puts up some good numbers.
Well, as I was saying while you were gone, the reason he is of the impression that he is worth that is because he has been able to go through 3 different defensive schemes and still be able to produce the numbers he's producing. And when you see that, you're like, okay, this guy is not only producing in these schemes, he's just a dang good ball player. He's a good defensive end because no matter where he goes, you know he's going to touch the quarterback. You know he's going to touch whatever's back there. You know he's going to do whatever it is to get behind that offensive line and make numbers. And that's what he's been doing. But we can say that, we can say, okay, he's a different player than Max Crosby because Max Crosby doing with the Raiders is whatever. Well, depending on if Haason Reddick is on that Jets defense or not, I don't know if it'll be as much of a difference. That Jets defense is already stacked. This isn't a Haason Reddick, we want you. I mean, this isn't like the Jets aren't in the position of they are desperate for Haason Reddick. Haason Reddick should be in the position of I'm desperate for the Jets, but he's not. Because the only thing that's running through his mind is money, money, money.